Welcome back to FTB Stoneblock 4. I'm Bumpstar, and in the last episode, we got started with the basics, learning how to use the crude brush, finding the healing well, and even creating our first worker token. Today we're diving deeper into the questline to figure out exactly what these worker tokens do and how they'll help us automate our world. I'm also hoping to push through the Quartermaster Echo quest to upgrade the world engine and take the next big step. So let's jump right in. Well, the first thing we need to look at is what these tokens are used for. So using an echo encoder, we sneak right click, which we did. The token encodes the villager, and then the echo encoder only has so many charges, but you can recharge it in the world engine. So we need to go to the echo guidance for our next step. And let's see what gift of stones we get. No way. Alright, let's take a look at this. We just got a netherite hammer with efficiency 5 and unbreaking 10. That is freaking awesome. This is going to be super useful. And we also don't want to forget to grab the Unearther level increase. So now we can get even more stuff from our crude brushes. And before we get started on doing anything else, I think it's time for me to make a backpack because, well, storage is kind of limited and it would be really nice to have something. And now we have our sophisticated backpack, and we should be able to upgrade this right away to a gold backpack by just surrounding it with some iron and then surrounding it with some gold. Now we have plenty of storage and we have some upgrade slots here as well that we can put in, something like magnets or feeding upgrades. Just to make our life a little easier, and then we can also put stack upgrades there as well. So we'll go ahead and put this on our back, and now we have our backpack, and we'll dye this eventually, but doesn't look too bad for now. But now I think it's time to head to spawn, and let's talk to our Echo.
Helper acquisition confirmed. Success likelihood is significantly increased. With these tokens, the WERK is now able to reboot the archives of 3 additional echoes. Their upgrades will assist you in restoring the first segments of the world engine. The echoes may appear similar in form, but each has had the personality of their most successful predecessor artificially recreated. We hope this is to your liking. Each echo can be found in the lobby above within their respective archives. Your quest book allows you to set a waypoint on your map with each of their locations. The Echo of the Quartermaster manages knowledge on storage systems and other general miscellaneous items. The Echo of the Machinist specializes in mechanical systems and basic automated machinery. The Echo of the Magician focuses on arcane and magical sources. Task: return to me once you have completed the Quartermasters and at least 1 additional Echo's world engine upgrade.
Great, let's check to see if we have anything new in the shop. Ooh, we do. We have Deep Slate Ring Ender Shard. So that'll bring us out to the Deep Slate portion of the map, like where the healing well is, just out there, but I'm not sure how to actually use this. Smithing templates. We have random sophisticated chest upgrades. We might need to grab some of these. Ooh, rainbow furnace, and it looks like it's a 0.36% chance, kind of low, and a random glyph, or ours, I believe. The percentages here is basic to copper, basic to iron, to gold, netherite. Let's grab 2 of those, and let's go ahead and take a roll with our rainbow furnace. All right, let's see what I got. Okay, so that gives us chest. So first thing, rainbow furnace. Okay, basic iron furnace, but whatever. Chest upgrade, basic to gold, and basic to copper. Well, not the best, but that's fine. Now that we have the other echoes unlocked, let's go set up these worker tokens first before we start diving into that. So I think I'm gonna use this room as our processing area and kind of dig it out to fit what we need. So if we look at the quest book, putting the villagers to work, the worker token that the villagers converted into is just an example of what the echo encoder can do. Hello? The worker token that the villagers converted into was just an example of what the echo encoder can do. If you encode villagers with specific jobs, you can put them to work for you in an Unearther. This is a 3x3x3 block that allows you to automate block brushing. All it requires is a little villager labor. The Unearther does support automatic item input and output via hoppers and pipes. Perfect. So we need to make a Unearther. So we're going to need tinted glass and some polished deep slate. Let's also grab our iron furnace out and let's set up the automation for this. So we'll put a barrel here, iron furnace there, barrel here, and barrel there. And we want to go into configuration, clear that out, auto input and output. So we want to input from the top and output to the bottom, and then on the right we want that our fuel input. Now we can take all of our coal, put this in here, and then anything that we want to smelt goes here, and anything that comes out of it goes there. So for example, let's take all of our smeltable clusters and just place them all in here. And these will all smelt over time and be pushed into this bottom barrel. We need to make some tinted glass. And now we can make our Unearther. And now that we have 3 Unearthers, like I said, they are a 3x3 block, so we need to figure out how we want to set these up. I think what I would like to do is break out this wall here. There we go. And we'll decorate this later. But for now, this should work. So if we right click here, you can now see we have a food slot, a token slot, and a brush slot. And then this slot is where we put the items that we want being brushed. Okay, so my thought is we will have a output barrel here, and then 3 input barrels right here. And then by completing this quest, we got some opaque item pipes, which are pretty simple to make. We just need some nickel, and well, to get nickel, we're going to need to get some nickel clusters, and that comes from sand. I think if we put these all here, so if you right click where you want, it'll pull from there. Let's try here. And then we need to try and get it here as well. There we go. So those should just all pull from there and push in. And then we'll do the same thing here, but set that one to pull from this. But now we need to either make a salvaging table or a decorated pot to give these workers a job. So using the decorated pot, we can turn it into an archaeologist, which can brush dirt, dust, mud, and sand. And the geologist can do gravel, soul sand, and crushed kiwi. So we're going to need 2 archaeologists and 1 geologist. All right, so now we have our decorated pot. Now we need to make the salvaging table, which is going to be copper, an iron pickaxe, and iron axe, a smithing table, which we already have one, a piece of polished deep slate, a slab, and then 2 amethyst dust. So out of all those, we need to do amethyst dust, which looks like we can use our hammer on a cutting board with a amethyst to make dust. So let's make a cutting board. And we have our 2 amethyst dust. And now we have our salvaging table. And let's put our smithing table down and allow our villager out. Hey, where are you going? Hey, I need you to come over here. Hey, right here. Let's try that again. Nope. Where are you going? Let's try blocking this wall off so he can't go anywhere. And smithing table here. In here. Okay. You want to take the job? There we go. Okay, so he'll take the job. And now let's try the decorative pot. Are you really gonna just be a complete pain in the butt? Cool. Alright, you're a good man. But you. Let's go ahead and try our other token to see if that one will work. You also don't want to do what you're supposed to do. Dude, we need to go back to the world engine to recharge our echo encoder. Luckily, it's easy enough. You just throw it in here, it runs and recharges for you. Why are you both being such a pain? You just keep wanting to run over to this iron chest And you have now become a fisherman from a barrel? Are you kidding me? Alright, buddies. Alright, you're locked in here, dude. Got one job that you can do. Come on. Come on. Come on. Become... Thank you. Anyway, and now that we have all of our tokens working, let's go ahead and set this guy up. So this one is going to be our geologist. Put him in here. And now he's just hanging out in there. Now we need to give food, and I believe food just gives speed. And then we need to make sure they have brushes and the item that we want them to brush through. Alright, so we have a ton of gravel in here now, and as you can see, it's placed here. Now we need food and we need brushes. So let's go get that. I'll put 3 brushes in here for now. And as you can see, they are now working. And every time they work, they get progress towards the next level. And all of that gets pushed into here. And I believe with the level progression, it's going to be the same as for us. So like right now we're level 3, but they're only level 1. So we're only going to get coal and iron from them until they level up. So let's throw some food in here. Nothing like a stack of carrots. But now we have iron and coal automated. So now we're going to do this exact same setup over here and over here. So that way we can have sand and dust automated as well. And now we have our gravel, sand, and dust completely automated. We just need a way to automate brushes, food, and the actual materials that they need to be able to push through this, because right now we are limited on how much they can do at a time, because once we run out of brushes, they can't do it, and once we run out of the material, they also can't. In the near future, we will be setting up some cobblestone generators as well as some auto hammers, so that way they are constantly being fed everything they need. And as you can see, our gravel Unearther is already level 2, so we're getting a bunch more material here, and he's about halfway to level 3. But now that we have our villagers working hard, I think it's time to move on with the next quest. So let's head to the route of the Quartermaster. And we can't head there yet with our teleporter because we need to physically go there first. So within the archive of guidance, we should be able to find them here. So here's the magician. Here's the machinist. And that's the Twilight Ancient. And here's the archive of the Quartermaster. So let's go meet them. Oh wow, this is pretty nice looking. Hello, Echo. Oh, look at the shop. That rock. Basic to copper tier upgrades. We may just grab some of these to have them. Torchflower seeds. Some worms, storage controllers for functional storage. So let's have a chat.
Howdy, young one. Been a hot minute since I done seen your kind around these parts. I'll cut straight to the chase. I'll give you some tasks, and when they're done, you can repair that rusty old world engine with this old Quartermaster's know-how. As it is, I am the proud owner of one of them major upgrades for the world engine. So, unfortunately for you, you's gotta do as you're told no matter what. I'm just messing with ya. Well, kinda. The machine blocks are essential, but I'll be nice and keep your first job real easy. Go out there and make a machine that can make circuits and metallic alloys and a sturdy casing component. Task: craft a metallurgic infuser and a dielectric casing.
So now when we open up our quest log, we can go to Tier 1 Foundation, and we have the option for each one of these. And now the Quartermaster one we have to do, but then we can pick between the Machinist and the Magician on which one we want to do next, or we can do both of them. So first, let's do our Quartermaster. We met our Quartermaster. Gift of Pebbles, we got an item vault. And now we need to make a metallurgic infuser with some dielectric casings And we're going to need some power as well. So let's head home and start that. I've made this little room right off the front here. And this is where we're going to start our Echo of Guidance stuff. So we're going to need a metallurgic infuser, some dielectric casings, and we're going to need to figure out some early power generation. So we have the heat generator from Mechanism, simple coal generator from Just Dire Things, and the coal generator from RF Tools. And I think to start out, we're just going to go with the simple coal generator from Just Dire Things. Because, well, we have plenty of coal in the form of charcoal that we can use, and we can craft down with all of our wood that we have generating from our bonsai pots, as well as plenty of iron that we can make, which we'll go ahead and do that now. And as you can see, our Unearther is a level 3, so now we're getting diamond and lapis as well. Now let's look at Just Dire Things. We're going to need a Primogel goo. So we're going to need sugar, dirt, clay, and a rotting flesh, which we should have all of that. And let's make our first goo. Careful, we're having an avalanche. Let's go ahead and brush this out real quick. And nothing too fancy other than some dimensional shard gems. Everything else is stuff that we kind of already have. Now that we have our goo, let's go ahead and put the iron down first, then the goo. And let's surround this whole thing. And we're going to need 1 sugar to feed it, because with Just Dire Things, we have to feed goo in order for it to work. As you can see with the animation, that goo is starting to spread out to our iron. Almost done, any minute. And this is the slowest version of this. It will get a lot quicker as we upgrade that goo. And now we have our raw ferrocore ore. We'll break all that. And we have 20 of them, which is more than enough. And then next up, we're going to make a simple coal generator, which just needs 4 of those ingots, 2 redstone, 2 coal, and a blast furnace. And we cannot use charcoal. We have to use actual coal. So let's convert this tiny coal to real coal. And let's make 2 of these. So we'll place a simple coal generator here and a simple coal generator here. So they aren't the fastest thing in the world, but they're a start. Now we need to make our metallurgic infuser, which is going to be an osmium ingot, 4 iron, and 2 redstone, as well as 2 regular furnaces. And let's make our metallurgic infuser. We need more iron first. And let's make a second one. So now we have 2 metallurgic infusers. So we'll just place them directly on top of these coal generators. And now we need to make dielectric casings. So to do that, we're going to need iron bars and dielectric paste. And for dielectric paste, we need lava buckets. So I remember seeing in my quest chain here that to get lava, if we go talk to the Echo of the Machinist, we'll be able to get a tool that we can get lava from. So let's go talk to him. And while we're here, let's talk to the Magician as well. Nice amethyst, some R setup, some malum. But these runes aren't doing anything to us.
Greetings, Seeker of Wisdom. I assume you wish to uncover the magical ways of the world in order to restore the world engine? Even within this endless stone world, source yet flows. It is drawn from the very foundations of the world and the lifeblood inhabiting the stone. Begin by acquiring resources imbued with magical essence. Seek out the archwood, born of saplings unearthed by your assistance. Task: craft archwood planks.
And within the shop here, we have green fertilizer, yellow, and red. We get some common ink for iron, brewing stand, nutritious chicken feed, nice. Enchanting table, mega torch, some void upgrades, glyphs, some pretty good items from here. And then over here we have the Machinist. Definitely going to be using a lot of crate down here. Crate is such a cool looking mod. I definitely think I'm going to dive into it a bit this time around. I normally don't play around with Crate because it's a little overwhelming. A lot of steps and organization is needed, but I think with this mod pack, I'm probably gonna dive into it.
So, you're the new helper? Not sure how much you'll be able to get done with those soft, clean hands, but I'm more than happy to be surprised. Let's make sure you've at least got the basics before you go off and do your own thing. Here, take this tool pop prep for you ahead of time. Task, claim the entropy manipulator. Task completed. Haas says the entropy manipulator can convert states of matter. I'm not too sure about the exact mechanics behind it since it's not really my wheelhouse, but I trust my old man's tools more than anyone else's. That entropy manipulator should have some energy to convert some stone into lava, which you can then turn into obsidian. It's the only material you can get right now that can handle the alloy infusion you'll need for the next world engine upgrade. You'll need to make some train casings first. These should serve as a strong base for the next casings we'll be infusing. Ask, craft a train casing.
Alright, and let's take a look at the shop. Green tracks, hand cranks, light blue laser drill, schematic cannon, some drill silk touch augments, coffee maker, external heater, another entropy manipulator, battery that is full of energy, some mechanism upgrades, impact core, industrial foregoing, some mobs, so some really good things. Mysterious cube, nice. Okay, but now we have a entropy manipulator, and this thing is going to allow us to make lava. So we've got a few things we can do with lava. So let's head home and do those. So the first thing that we can do with lava is we can make some stone cobble gens. So we just need some compressed stone, a piece of glass, and a bucket of lava. And then from there, we can make some iron auto hammers to break that cobble down to the materials needed to pump in here to auto feed it in. So let's start working on that. Okay, so we are going to set this up on the outside for now until we have something a bit easier to do it with. Okay, so we're going to put the barrel in the dead center here, that right there. And then let's put the cobblestone generator directly underneath. So that should start filling up with cobblestone. Perfect. And now we're going to run a cable here with our auto hammer, or auto, yep, going that way. So that should start sending. We right click here. So that's gravel, dirt, and then sand. And then since we have sand, let's grab some more of our pipes and put a pipe here and then a pipe right here. And this should automatically be processing directly into our input, and it's slow, but it's working. So now that is completely automated, so this will always have sand. And now we're going to do the exact same thing to the other directions. And now it's not the most beautiful thing in the world, but it gets the job done. So we don't have to worry about these materials anymore. They will just passively be pushed in and brushed out. But for now, let's move back over here. And we're going to need our 2 buckets of lava to make some dielectric paste. So that's going to be coal, clay, and lava. And let's make 2 of these paste. And we have our dielectric casing. So now that we have that, let's head back to the Quartermaster.
That'll do you well. Back in my day, the metallurgic infuser was a piece of tech none but this clever old man could use. I'd tried teaching those nitwits, but they were absolutely useless. Glad you ain't like 'em. Task completed. We'll put that casing to good use later. For now, let's get you making an actual upgraded cell. With this piece of infrastructure set up, y'all should be good to head over to the old world engine and bring some power from your base to craft yourself machine blocks. These components are what hold the entire dang thing together. So good luck and don't mess up. Get yourself plenty of steel mechanical components, basic control circuits, electrum wires, and those dielectric casings you made earlier to the world engine. Make sure you got enough to make a whole load of machine blocks. Task, craft 64 world engine machine blocks.
And just from doing that, we've now unlocked this entire thing for the shop, which is pretty cool. We can buy chance cubes now. We can buy our gear upgrades for sophisticated storage, wands, hammers, magnet, a ton of different things, and a brush with unbreaking. So let's grab 3 of those. And let's head back home. So looking at the quest here, we're going to need 4 dielectric casings, 8 steel mechanical components, 4 basic control circuits, and 8 electrum wire, because we need to make 64 world engine machine blocks. And then we're also going to need to put some power into it as well. So first, the easiest thing to do is going to be some osmium into the basic control circuits with some redstone. So let's grab those. And we're just gonna let it cook. For steel casings, we're going to need some steel plates. And for steel plates, we can use a engineer's hammer with 3, or we could do 1 ingot with a plate casting to steel, which means that we're going to have to get into productive metalworks. I think for now, we're going to use that immersive engineering to do this, so that way we can just use our metallurgic infuser to create some steel that way. Let's dump coal in here, and let's get some iron. And let's make our 3 other casings. And then while we wait for our steel to be made, we're going to make a engineer's hammer through immersive engineering. So we're going to need iron, 2 sticks, and a string. And then we're going to need some silver. Put it on our cutting board, hammer it down to dust. And now if we put gold in a metallurgic infuser with silver dust, it'll turn into electrum dust. And then we can smelt that electrum dust down to get electrum ingots to then smash it down to a plate. And then we can turn that plate into electrum wire with a stone cutter. Goes in our offhand, and this should work here as well. And then we're going to need 3 per. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we put 12 in here, and we put 1 gold dust. Okay, so 1 per. Easy enough. Now we have our electrum being made, so that'll be done. We have our basic controls, we have this, so now we're just looking for our steel machine casings. And we're gonna need 4 per, and we need 8 of these. It is a lot more efficient to do productive metalworks for this, but I just really don't feel like making this right now, and so we're just gonna do it the inefficient way and have to make extra. As well, we have plenty of resources going now, so it's not like we need to worry about that too much. Let's go ahead and swap this over, have this run, and then we can always add more later. Now the only other thing that we really need to make is an energy cube, so that way we can transfer power over. Let's go ahead and we need to make some energy tablets. So we need copper with redstone, and we're going to need 4 of these, or 2 of these, which means we're going to need 4 of the infused alloys. And now we have some steel dust as well. So let's start smelting that down. Make 2 energy tablets. And now we just need some steel casing, which is going to be 4 pieces of glass with 4 steel. Now let's make our energy cube here. So what else do we need? We just need some iron. Now we have an energy cube. So let's set that down right here. Now that we have the electrum, let's make some of our plates. And then let's find our stone cutter. Place that right here. Throw our electrum plates in there and make our 8 wire. And now we have 8 steel plates, so we can start making some of our steel machine components. And I may be admitting a bit of defeat, because I'm going to just make a ton of fire bricks and set up our forge. We're going to need a foundry tap. We do need a casting table. We'll do our foundry tap, or our foundry controller. And then we need a foundry tank. And the rest should just be our basic foundry bricks. And we're gonna go ahead and put our foundry in here. We also are going to need our liquid heating coils. Let's put our liquid heating coils down. More bricks, more bricks, more bricks. Let's put our controller right here. We're gonna go ahead and break out a little bit more. So we don't need to get to the back of it, but we want the sides available. And then we will take this, break that out, and we're going to put the drain there. I did not make the drain. We have the tank. Yeah, there we go. Put the drain down right here. And then we can put a tap right here and right there. And now we have our casting basin and our casting table. And then we just need the tank, which we'll put right here. And to finish this off, is stacking these up. And now our foundry is complete. So now we need lava. We have everything to make a tank? We do. Alright, just redstone and iron, easy enough. Let's make a basic fluid tank. Use shift scroll, it turns on bucket mode. Let's use some iron. Do 3 iron. An engineer's hammer to make an iron plate. Let's put that down here. And now we need to take some steel. I'm not sure how much steel is needed, but we got 1 molten steel. Put that here. Alright, we're gonna need more. Let's put all 3 in. Alright, so 4 ingots to make a cast. But now we have a plate cast. So now we can take actual steel, and I'm curious to see... Just want to try. If I put steel dust in here, that's smelt down. Ooh, it will. Okay. So we're going to put steel dust there. Now we're going to make a hopper. Let's break right here. Put the barrel down here. The hopper facing that way. And then we just need to give it a redstone signal. And this redstone signal should work here, no problem. Oh, let's try right here. There we go. So now it is automatically going to pour all of our steel plates in here. So let's just get all of our steel and start making steel plates. Now we just grab our steel plates and we make our steel machine components, and we can turn that off because we don't need any more steel plates. We should have everything we need to make our 64 world engine machine blocks. So let's head to the world engine and dump these 4 items in. Let's take our cube and place it. Oh yeah, I forget that we can fly in here. Place it on top. Set our output on the bottom. It's going to start filling up with energy. That is sucking down some energy. But we have our 64 world engine machine blocks. According to the Quartermaster, you now have everything you need to craft the world engine machine frames in the world engine. You'll need a bunch of these to restore the world engine's function, allowing you to craft more complex items. Let's use our gift of stones. Netherite furnace? Really? Holy, that's going to be nice. Cook time 2. That's going to make life a lot easier going forward. But now that we have that, let's go speak to the... Yeah, we have to go speak to our Quartermaster Echo. So go back to spawn, to the Quartermaster.
Well, I'll be. You done it, young one. That's enough machine blocks to restore yourself some major functions of the world engine. As complete, go ahead now and use this schematic to fit them blocks there in the world engine structure. She should be ready to go for a spin. I don't have much more I can do for you right now unless you're looking for items in my shop. Go have a chat with other echoes to see what they need. The WERK system will be updated with more knowledge soon.
Alright, let's head back over to the world engine. Alright, submit the blocks required for the upgrade and claiming its reward will automatically assemble your team's world engine. Any blocks placed where an upgrade should go will be voided. Okay. So let's submit our 64 blocks. And request the reward. And you can see them being put down here. And all of those machine blocks have been placed. So we did our first step to fixing this world engine. We've got 64 machine blocks placed down. We helped the Quartermaster out. And yeah, got quite a bit done this episode. Now that we have some resources automated through our brushing and worker tokens, we don't have to worry about them as much. And we've dabbled a little bit into mechanism, productive metalworks, and a few other things to really get this started. I'm so excited to see what happens next episode. Next episode, we decide if we want to do magic or create. And I'm not quite sure which one is going to be what we do. So if you watch this before then, make sure to leave a comment and tell me which one you want to see. Would you rather see create or would you rather see some magic going on? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This was Bumstar, and I will see you in the next one. Later.